All right, here we are. We are on episode 2 of TheSculpt Unscripted. Yes.
So super unscripted.
Super unscripted, yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So, this is my friend, Lisa Kelly. And Lisa came all the way out from New York City to be here today.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
yes.
of course.
Yeah. So, I think first we should talk about how we met.
We should talk about how we met.
Yes.
We should talk about how we met.
Yes, and explain that to everyone.
Yes, yes.
Because it's actually a really cool story. So my family went to a women's hockey game at the Prudential Center. There is a women's hockey team there, in case nobody knows this.
Yeah, there's 6 whole teams, and they're actually like so popular now. Like they sold out like all of their games this season.
They did?
Yeah, and in like multiple areas. Yeah.
Wow.
I know I haven't been back either, but we do support them.
Yes, we do. We
Yes.
support women's sports for sure. Yeah. Yeah. My youngest daughter, she actually likes that Disney movie where like all the characters in the brain are different characters.
Yeah,
you know, the Inside Out movie.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and the character in that movie, the main one, she plays girls hockey.
Yeah.
So Lucy, for her birthday, she wanted to go to a women's hockey game.
Yep.
So we were like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
So,
You're like, we have no idea what's happening, but we will go. We will go.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So we drive to the Prudential Center, and we park in this like super sketchy parking lot.
Yeah. There's nothing there on the
There's
weekends.
nothing there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like Newark is totally empty, and you have to like go through an alleyway to get to whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And I had never been there before. So we park and we get out of the car, and you and your girlfriend had already parked.
Yep.
And we were like, okay, I guess we can park here. We're walking. We're walking. And you turned around and you looked at me. And I forget exactly what you said, but you spoke to me directly, like you knew me. And I got this immediate feeling, like, I feel like I know you.
Yeah.
And it was like one of those moments where, like, you have these moments sometimes in life where, like, you meet people and it's like, I feel like I know you from, like, some other lifetime or something like that.
Right, yeah. And you're like, this is supposed to happen.
Yeah. And I felt like we both had that feeling.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't remember what you said to me exactly, but it had to be something
I'm sure it was something brilliant.
Well, I think it was like, we can park here, right?
Yeah, right? Totally.
And I was like, I don't know.
Right, yeah.
So we keep walking into the stadium, and we go in, and we had no clue, but it was Pride Day. And
Yeah.
My family had no idea that it was Pride Day. So we go in, and like my 2 daughters are like, what's Pride Day?
Yeah.
And
they're like, no, all right, let's have a whole,
Yeah, and at the time, like, you know, their dad is like, the guy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and I was like, it means you can love whoever you want.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how we explained that to them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like a lot of parents maybe like who were more like prude or something would have like turned around or something.
Maybe. Totally. Yeah.
And at the time, I think Lucy was turning maybe like 6, so the girls were 6 and 7 at the time.
Yeah, they were little. Yeah.
And then we go in, and out of like all the places that we could sit,
the whole arena,
whole arena, you guys were sitting right behind
us. Yep.
Yeah. Which I thought was also like divine, right?
So crazy.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I love kids, and I just wanted to talk to the girls, and I was like, well, I don't want to be like creepy and talk to them, but I was so excited they were there because for me, I always played sports, and I love sports, and I believe very much that sports, like any sort of team thing, like whether you're in band or theater, can teach like leadership skills and teamwork and all of that kind of, you know, ups and downs of what you can do with your peers. And I grew up, and I'm older than you, but the only people I ever saw were like tennis players and track stars like every 4 years in the Olympics.
Okay.
And I didn't do either of those. So I never saw women's sports. So when I go to these things now and I see like, you know, 80-year-old women who are probably seeing stuff that they never even got to play.
Yeah.
And then I see young kids, like boys and girls and everybody, just it so be normalized. They're like going to a women's sporting thing. I get so excited for them to just be able to see the possibilities of like this whole world of things. So I was just like, this is so great that they brought them. Yeah. And I saw him and I was like, this guy is like, what am I doing in this location right now? But like, he was there for it. And I was like, he came with his family because, and then we talked and you were like, it's one of their birthdays and this is what they wanted. And it was like doing that. Like you could have been like, no, or we don't know much about that. Let's do something else. But it was like, no, we're doing this, even though like this is unfamiliar to all of us, which was so awesome.
Yeah, yeah, and it was a lot of fun. And like we didn't really know like how the girls would respond, but like they play like all the songs like in between like plays and stuff like that. They were into it. They were like dancing around and stuff. Yeah. And then
the next weird thing that happened.
It was so amazing though. They were looking for the person to go to win this award for like showing the most pride.
Yeah.
in the whole stadium.
Super weird.
And they picked Lisa Kelly.
Yeah. They were like zooming they zoomed the camera around and they were like super gay.
Yeah. So she gets to go on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Penny and Lucy are like, what's that? And I was like, they're going to make her go on the Jumbotron, like the big thing. So they came over with the camera. Yeah. And that was super cool. And you kept trying to get the girls in the shot. Which they didn't do, which I thought was super rude of them.
I know. Because they're the kids and like show the kids. Yeah. Right. I know. I was like.
You were like, them.
Yeah.
And they were like, you.
I know. I was like, I'm good. Yeah.
You were like, okay. Like,
yeah. I know. Everybody knows it's fine. But look, these kids are at their first women's hockey game. Like,
yeah. No, but it was just like such a special day.
Yeah. And you did a great job filming that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then.
Yeah.
Yes. That was my excuse to get Lisa's number, you guys.
Yeah.
I was like, let me get your number so I can like film this for you.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
So,
and then they gave me like 3 pairs of earrings.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've never had my ears pierced, so that was super.
Those.
So
yeah.
So I was like, do you want some earrings?
Yeah. Yes, we exchanged numbers and she gave me jewelry that day.
Yeah. So that was it.
Yeah.
Now we're official.
Now we're friends forever. Yes. Yeah.
So, and I was super excited to hear that you started this because, like, I feel like the women supporting women thing is always sort of like on the fringe of like what life is happening, and it's sort of, but I feel like it's become this like stronger thing. There's this woman on TikTok, of all places. Yes, sometimes I go on TikTok, and she has a I don't give a fuck like club, and she like every day she has people like write into her about the things that she doesn't care about anymore.
Okay.
Like what I look like. Yeah, it's just like what I look like when I go to the grocery store. Yeah. Like what somebody thinks about like how hard I worked that day. Like what like just all kinds of things. Like if my neighbor looks at my lawn and like this is like I'm doing the best I can right now. Yeah. And so there seems to be like more of like an outward movement. So when you reached out, I'm like. There's like, I would just not say no. I don't know what my reason would be to say no. Yeah. You were like, I didn't know like where in New Jersey I was like going to be going. Like when you originally said it, I was like, I don't know. We could be in like Cape May. Is that New Jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that's like a New Jersey place that's far away, right? Yeah. But I was like, yeah. And we were talking about on the way over here about how also like if I were to be like, hey, can you support this, you would be like, yes.
I would be so down to come out to New York, of course. Yeah. And when I was thinking of people to be on the show, you were one of the first people I thought of. I was like, well, of course I'm going to ask Lisa, because of the story of how we met. I thought that was cool. And another reason why I made the show, I said it on the first episode, but on Instagram, people are just like scrolling, and people have stories to tell. Yep. And we see these snippets of people's stories, and then they keep scrolling. So I was like, well, people have things to say. Yeah. And on your page, for example, like Pride,
a lot of activism.
A lot of activism, like your boxing story. Like you have so many great things to share. Yeah. And I think that the world needs more people like you. And that's why I reached out. I wanted to have you on the show to just showcase you and talk about things that are important to you. And that is the purpose of the show, for people to come on and just have more than just that little scroll and not feel like people are being passed by. You know what I mean? Yeah. So and women supporting women and. Yeah, the show's happening, you guys. So if anyone wants to come on, Lisa came all the way up from New York. She drove here. Yeah, super baller.
And everybody has something. Everybody has something to say, and I think like I don't know. I'm a person who has always been confident. Mm-hmm. And so I don't really understand like people who, like, I don't understand how people aren't. Mm-hmm. But because I've been in management for a long time, like I worked in multiple companies where I managed sales teams. Okay. And there's this thing, I was just talking about it to somebody the other day, a young guy who started a company, actually, like a tech software company. Okay. And his co-founder was like, you got to talk to this guy because he's sort of having he feels kind of like a fraud, you know, that should he really be like getting the success that he's getting. Yeah. And there's this thing that I've heard where lottery winners often blow all the money because they're,
they ruin it.
Yeah, because they've never been rich. Right. And I think some of it can be really psychological where it's like, I've never been this. I've always been middle class, and now I'm not, and I'm uncomfortable with success. Right. And I'm uncomfortable. I'm not that person. I had a sales guy years ago who was always number 2, and he started to get really close to number 1, and then he would just kind of start failing. And I realized, you know, he just wasn't telling himself the story that he could be number 1. Right. And I think sometimes, and I've always told myself the story that I am number 1, but like a little bit, I think everybody can be great. Mm-hmm. And so, and I realized over the years when I've worked with different people and especially work situations that they don't necessarily believe that about themselves. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's important to say, like, if you want to start a podcast, you can start a podcast. Yeah. And you don't know what you're doing. You know, you don't know where it's going to land, but that's not the point. Like, the point is you can do it. Yeah, absolutely. And you did it. So I'm like, of course I'm going to come out. Thank you. And then, like, be a part of it because other people are like, oh, no, I could never do that. Yeah. And it doesn't really occur to me that, oh, I couldn't do that. And I want to give other people like the door opening of that. So when I see somebody else who's doing it, I'm like, of course. Yeah. And we can sit here and tell other people you can do it too.
Yeah, and that's the point of it too. You know, my brand, TheSculpt, it started as Pilates, but it's bridging into other things. It's, you know, Pilates for personal empowerment and self-development. You know, on the way over here, it's like, am I nervous to do this? It's like, yeah, I'm a little nervous before I hit record and stuff like that. And it's like, what are we doing? It's like, you know, I'm not sure, but like, I got the microphone.
Right. And it has different colors.
Like,
I think it's really cool. It's a little gay, actually. Like,
yes.
It's a little,
prideful.
Pride.
Yes. Yeah, but like, you know, you can do stuff like this. It's like, if you get an idea, like that creative download, it's like, well, why not? Like, you know, why not like show other people that you can do it? It's like, if you have an idea, it's like, well, just run with it. Like, you never know what could happen, you know? So
I love the idea of sculpt because you were talking about, like, I mean, sculpting is really taking, like, if you think about it literally, like something and like molding it into different things. Right. But it can also change all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, you can sculpt it and you can have it be this way or this way or this way. Like, it's not defining what it needs to be sculpted as. And then you also talked about, like, it's almost like sculpting your mind and sculpting your attitude.
Frame your mind.
Mm-hmm. So that makes like a lot of sense to me, like, especially as we embark on new things, we have to kind of let our mind like morph into something else.
And you have to definitely pivot and change your direction sometimes and kind of, you know, be able to change. Which is very interesting. Yeah, and also I just feel like right now with the world is a little bit like crazy right now, and I also just felt like, you know, maybe people need this. Maybe people need to like just see people come on and like be silly and like laugh and like it's okay to just like, you know, fall on your face a little bit sometimes and just like talk about like different subjects that are important and, you know, just kind of like talk about like edgy subjects too, like, you know, things that might be controversial or, you know, stuff like that. So
I think that what we're missing is when people are online, and I was listening to this thing on the way out here that was talking about how like local media is getting less and less. Mm-hmm. And the example they used was Saratoga Springs and Troy, which are both just north of Albany, New York. Right. And they're maybe 30 miles not even from each other. Mm-hmm. And one of them had like their news media, like their newspaper close up. And the other one was saying, I don't feel comfortable reporting on that town, which is only 30 miles away, because they're so specific and those people knew what was happening there. And we're missing the kind of this localized thing. Yeah. We get this broad stroke of the media. And frankly, with AI, I mean, you could make anything happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I could make a video right now of us standing up and like all of a sudden getting taller. You know, like we could do. Like it's so weird. Like I'm afraid it's gonna start like a war or something with like a fake video.
Yeah.
And I think that the sitting down and talking, like we're in a New Jersey suburb right now, and even like coming from New York City, people are like, "Oh, you're going to a New Jersey suburb?" Like. It has this thing like they must be totally different than you, and it's like no, we're people who met at like a women's hockey game. We both went to the same event, and it, you know, like we're not that different,
normal people.
But we're missing this conversation like hardcore right now amongst people.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so much misinformation. It's super unnerving. There was this, you talked about like people being silly and having fun, and this is like a little morbid, but it's something that I kind of live my life by, which is I heard from people who were involved in like the AIDS movement in the 80s. Yeah. They were like, we buried our friends in the morning. Right. We protested in the afternoon and we danced at night.
Right.
And you have to have all three parts. And you have to have like sadness and mourning if that's what you're feeling. You have to have like standing up for people. But then you have to have joy. Because if like you don't have joy, then like, I don't know, whatever negative forces are, like they're winning.
Yeah, exactly.
And you should be able to have lots of joy. And you've got the kids, like it's sort of like, I think of like little girls as being, you know, they're the future, and it's so.
You have to show them that you have to keep going.
Yeah.
You know, I was telling you on the way here that I used to own a studio, and they were there the day that I closed it, which was like crazy. You know? Not the day that I like closed, but like they were there the day that like I sold some of my equipment to somebody, and like that girl actually like brought a bottle of Prosecco that day, and we like popped it while she and. The guys like loaded the stuff into the truck and stuff like that, and she's like, it's you know, it's just endings and new beginnings and stuff like that. And like the girls saw us two like women like celebrating that, you know. And I went home and cried in private.
Right, right. I know.
But like you have to show them that like, you know, life goes on.
Yeah.
You know, and just, you know, show them that like you can still be silly and like have fun and
that it's like all kinds of things. Yeah. I was actually in Alabama last summer. I went because I've just never been before, and I wanted to go, and I saw like some of the civil rights history. I know, like literally that's kind of why I went, right?
Yeah.
I'm from Minnesota. I've lived in like Massachusetts and New York, and I don't know. I mean, we have like a southern like prejudice. Like I think you know, like how you just said it. Like I was like I don't know.
Yeah.
And I went and I had it was May to June. It was about this time of year, and I had like more rainbowy hair even. Okay. And it was interesting. I mean, I would have to spend like a lot more time there, but like real history happened like in, you know, like my grandparents' like lifetimes of things that happened with like Selma and Birmingham and Montgomery.
Right.
So I wanted to see a lot of the civil rights things. But I had a guy come up to me and he was like, "What's that hair supposed to mean?" And the thing that came to mind to me was, I said, "It means I'm a safe person."
Yeah.
And then there's like no further conversation. He didn't really know what to say to that.
Yeah.
And I want like what I've noticed with kids, especially because like I am successful enough in business and I do get taken seriously when I'm talking about serious things, and I can wear fruit on my shirt. Like that I want kids to be like, look, there's an adult like living and like just being themselves.
Yes.
And I do get like, I hope that it's like this thing where they're walking around and they see, like whoever I am, I can be. And it's about like being nice, trying hard, like helping others, like, and that's it. And we can get beyond the stuff. But it's funny because I've gotten dinged about this hair in the gay community.
Really?
Yeah. This is great. So there's this WhatsApp chat with like 700 lesbians.
Do people think that you're like overdoing it?
Yeah, they're like there was this chat that started. Actually, it's like 1,000 lesbians, so it's a hot mess if you can imagine.
I was just about to say,
it's
not like
no, it's crazy. And there's like subgroups of like movies and sports and picnics and hiking and whatever, all this crap. Okay. And the person who runs it reached out and said, "Hey, I'm thinking of doing kind of like a matchmaking thing with some people. Can you tell me about yourself?" So I was like, "Yeah, I do this for work, and these are the things I like to do. I love to travel. Like, you know, activism is very important to me." Yeah. And she wrote back, "That's great." She's like, "Have you ever thought about?" This is another lesbian. "Have you ever thought about going back to your natural hair color. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, this dead air that we just had, that was like my like response on this text. I was like,
yeah, that was quiet.
Yeah, it landed like about that well.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what do I say to this? And so I said, well, obviously most of my life I had a specific hair color, but can you tell me more why you're asking that?
Yeah.
That's like a really salesy thing. Yeah. Tell me more about that. Help me understand.
Yeah. Why you're asking
this. Yeah. If you want to flip the conversation around, use one of those sentences. So, yeah. And so she wrote back, well, some people would just be more comfortable with somebody who looks like they could be on a board or somebody they could bring to a law firm holiday party.
Interesting.
Right?
Some people.
I was like,
okay.
I was like, I was like, I am on a couple boards.
Oh.
Actually, I was on the Diabetes Research Institute board. Okay. I'm on the board of something called Start Out, which is queer entrepreneurs like nationwide. Okay. And so I was like, I actually am on some boards, and I don't particularly care about law firm holiday parties. Can you like?
Just so
like, trying to dig into this. And she was like, okay, well, like I'll float your name around or whatever, and whatever this like matchmaking thing she was trying to start up, but I just really don't know how it's going to go. And I in all my confidence generally in life, I also was like a little bit, I had a tiny voice in me that said, should I like conform more? Yeah.
Ooh, you did.
I totally did. Like that was like a thought.
Interesting.
It wasn't a thought that I thought I was going to act on, but it definitely was a thought that crept in. That was like, maybe I'm not dating somebody right now because this is all too much.
Too much?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so even that, it's like, it can like get in there and be like, this is not, but it makes so many people happy.
It does. Yeah.
I like doing it.
Yeah. I feel like you have a certain presence that like exudes, like you have like an aura and like a certain energy about you, and people are attracted to that. Like we talked about it right before we hit record. Like people come up to you.
Yeah,
you just like
I
attract
get a lot
friends
of strangers,
like off the street, and I think that is something that you should keep. I
found in business too, it's very much turned into branding. Like I go to a lot of like conferences and stuff like that, and so people immediately like, oh yeah, I saw you over there, and I wanted to come up and talk to you. So it definitely has frankly translated directly into money for me, like getting clients and that kind of stuff. But I also just want to like flag the fact that I did have that moment of also being like, maybe I am too much. Yeah.
Society will do that to us.
Oh,
for sure. Yeah. Very interesting.
Anyhow, I'll send you a picture in like a week, because after the Knicks finally win.
The Knicks, you guys.
I didn't do it for the Knicks. I did this 2 months ago. The concept was a lake on fire.
Oh, okay.
And I know I like the blue, and I really wanted to do that. But now the Knicks are in the freaking finals.
Like that. Yeah,
so now my whole street in Harlem thinks that it's for the
like
so if I change my hair and they lose, like I'm gonna basically be run out of the neighborhood, so I have to keep it for another week.
You have to keep it.
But then we're gonna go full pride. We'll go full rainbow.
Perfect.
So I'll send like a follow up. Send a follow up picture. But the hair has been an interesting thing to. I was in Bethesda, Maryland for a conference. Like 3 weeks ago. We went out to dinner afterwards with one of my clients, and this woman came up to me, and she was just like, so nice. She was like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, like how you pull that off.
Yeah.
And she said, she started to have like tears in her eyes.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm almost 50, and I've been wanting to do something different.
Yeah.
But I'm like really nervous about it.
This is what I was trying to say. It's like you let people know that it's okay to like be yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was she was so emotional. A complete stranger that I was just like, wow, like people are walking around with all this crap. And how much is that blocking her from her own happiness and then bringing happiness to other people?
Yeah.
And like maybe she has the cure for cancer. Right. Like I go down this road of like maybe she can find peace in the Middle East, but she can't even think about it because like everybody's piling on her.
Yeah.
So
and I think that like that's, kind of what Pride is about, like showing the rainbow and like being out there. And that day that we were at the hockey game, like it was so fun because Pride's not just about like being gay or like having like like a same-sex relationship. It's about like feeling safe and love and just fostering those relationships and just being kind, you know? Yeah. And we were able to sit there that day with the kids and just like show them that, you know? And I just think it's beautiful. I think that you represent that very well. Yeah, and people see it. Yeah. So it's great.
I think people who hate gay people hate joy.
Absolutely.
Like, have you not been to a drag show? Like, have you ever been to a more joyful place? I mean, and maybe they do. Yeah. Like, but I do. I think if you hate gay people, you hate joy. Yeah. Like, so I came out later in life.
Yes, tell us the story.
Yeah. So I actually was married to a guy. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Big reveal. I know, right? He was an Australian sheep farmer named Fred. Ooh. It can't get funnier. Okay. Yeah. We met in Boston. We were married for 6 years. Okay. Had the most amicable divorce because I'm gay. And he's back in Australia now with a wife and 3 kids. And I'm like, you know, intermittently in touch with his family. And it's like just a super lovely, like if you had to have like a divorce, it was just, you know, I'm so lucky like how it happened.
Yeah, you're just honest about it. Yeah.
Okay. You know, and it was just sad and that was it. Like it's just life, whatever. But, so I didn't come out until I was like in my early 30s. Okay. And I remember, I don't know if I was still with Fred or not. I might have been, but it was Boston Pride and I went by myself. And I don't know why I decided to go, but it was around the Boston Common, which is this big park in the middle of the city. And there was the parade, and then there was maybe where everybody was kind of gathering in the park. And I remember seeing like a kid who had a t-shirt that was like, I love my 2 mommies. And then I saw like an older man in a wheelchair, which was like, I love my gay daughter. He had a sign. And it was just all of these different, I grew up in a very traditional suburb in Minnesota. Okay. My parents are still married. It's like over, 50 years. My friends that I went to high school with that I'm still friends with, all their parents are still married. My friends from high school, like everybody's been married to their, spouses, their husbands for like, 20 some years now. So it's just very one type of family. Okay. And I just never seen other types of families. It was like there wasn't even divorce. And so to be able to see all these different configurations of families was just like mind-blowing to me. Like in my late 20s, which is like there wasn't a whole lot on TV that was represented very different. And so it was like, again, like talk about possibilities. There were no other possibilities. I'd only been modeled like one type of thing. And it was just this, I just felt the whole atmosphere different. Like I feel it at that game, at the hockey game. I feel it at New York Liberty games where it's just
energy.
Where it's just like, oh wow, like anything is possible. Right. And there's so much joy. Yes. And it's kind of attracted to that. Yeah, and it's kind of crazy how we just have that, we don't even know that we're missing it. Yeah. Until we see it. But that's, again, you said it really well, which is like, the queer community is just about acceptance. Right. And it's acceptance if you're like, I don't know, like a boy who likes puzzles or like a girl who likes digging in the dirt or like what, like literally anything. Yeah. It's just acceptance.
Yeah. I don't think you even have to be like gay to, like, I'm not gay, like guys. But like,
everybody's like, a little gay. But,
that's what, I was talking with Malcolm about that recently, actually. I was like, isn't everybody a little gay? Yeah. Like, and that's fine.
And women love each other. Like women ride for women. Yeah. So it's not about, there's like so many different kinds of love and attraction.
Yeah. Like when you were going to go on the Jumbotron, I was like, I'm getting her number. Like, yeah. But like, you don't have to be gay or like label yourself. Like you can go to pride events and like have fun. Yes. And like support the whole movement. Yes. Yeah. And that's what it should be about. Just like kindness and like acceptance of others. Yeah. So if you don't like gay people, you can just not watch this episode.
Well, we were talking on the way out here about like what does it look like, and I feel like people are worried that, I don't know, I do get the idea, and I even get it from some members of my family, not my parents. My parents are like very much super supportive, and I'm like really lucky with that. My sister's super supportive, but people sort of feel like if you put like a rainbow flag out that you're like signaling yourself. Right. And it's like, no, you're just signaling that you like support all people. Right. And on the drive out here, there's all these bridges like over the freeway that have the American flag, which has turned into like this controversial thing.
I know
now.
It is. Yeah.
Like the American flag doesn't make me feel safe. Right. It never made me feel anything. Like I used to feel pride because I grew up in a small town in Minnesota, and I had parents or grandparents that were in the military, and my dad was like in the military, and so it was something that I was like proud of the American flag. But now it's turned into this thing where if you're waving that, you're signaling like a very specific type of team that you like stand behind,
possibly,
and it's turned into like violence, which is the opposite of what pride is about. And so it's like there were all these flags, and I was like, it would be nice. I mean, I literally thought, I was like, if I just get some flags and like put them up there, would like anybody like, would people freak out? Would that be like a thing? If I just put like one rainbow flag, because it's just so nice to see. So I obviously love colors, so it would be just fun. I know. I'm like, obviously it would be fun to just see it, but I was like, I just feel like we could just put them more places. And I hate when they go up just for the month and go down.
Yeah, true.
Like Marriott, just like leave it up. Like gay people stay there, like whatever. So
let's just have the flags out all the time.
I know. It's like it's a little bit like Christmas lights. I feel like we should have Christmas lights.
Yeah, that's funny you say that, because I was in my parents' neighborhood last night. We my best friend lives in that neighborhood, and we went to a birthday party for her kid, and someone had these beautiful Christmas lights still on their front lawn. And I was like, that's nice. Yeah. And they were just like silver lights, like on their bushes. And I was like, beautiful.
Yeah, I know. There's a couple places in New York where like outside the restaurant, like the tree will be wrapped or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, why don't we just do that?
Like it's very chic, very like, if it brings you joy, then like why not?
I know.
Like, you know.
This is the joy episode.
Yeah, the joy episode. Yes, I love it.
The last one, no, I'm just kidding. I think the last one also had joy in it.
It did. Yeah. Did you watch it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
I know. Well, Malcolm was great because he was like commenting on all this stuff. So
yeah. He's awesome.
So how long have you guys known each other?
I've known Malcolm for like a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gathering new people in your life. Yes. That's the sculpting, the expanding of the brain.
Yes,
like
exactly.
Bringing in constantly. Yeah.
Yeah. I meet a lot of people because of my job with Pilates, and then I don't know. I just like going out and like meeting people. Actually, in a couple weeks, like I wasn't going to be able to see Malcolm for some reason. He blows my hair out, and like I wasn't going to be able to see him because our like availabilities weren't matching up, and I was like, that's fine. I'm going to go to the salon across the way from you, and I'm just going to go in there and book an appointment and meet the people. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And he's like, well, maybe I'll switch my day so you can come in. And I was like, it's really fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm brave.
And
I like meeting people.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm a Libra. I'm very like social and like, I used to be really shy when I was like a kid, and then I just like gained more confidence as I got older.
Yeah.
But
so how do you think you gain confidence? Like how do you move from like one to the other?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of it has to do with Pilates. Just like a lot of it has to do with like I think my body actually. Like I in 6th grade, I grew like 6 inches, and then like got my period.
Yeah. You're like, I'm that one. Yeah. So everybody like, look at me.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like towering over like everybody. Yeah. So I was like, my posture was like terrible.
Okay.
So that's kind of actually one reason why my mom like helped me get into Pilates. She like found this DVD. I talked about that in the first episode. And it helped like lift your spine up.
Oh, interesting.
So that, and just I don't know, just like as you get older, you kind of like come more into yourself, I guess. Yeah. And like that woman you found on TikTok, you start giving less fucks about stuff.
Yeah, totally, right? I like heard about it, and I was like, I never really thought I did give a fuck, but like now, she's got like a whole I don't give a fuck club. Yeah. It's like a million people follow her now, if not more. Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah, she sells t-shirts. Yeah. Shout out, support her business too. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what do you do for work? You said that you're an entrepreneur.
Oh my gosh, I know. Okay, so I need to do a better job of like explaining this, and this is so I should be doing stuff like this where I'm practicing it. So I'll tell you like 2 stages of my career. So I worked at Verizon Wireless.
Okay.
And I was in sales. I was an account executive. I sold to like, insurance companies and all different companies, and sold cell phones. Like that, not that complicated.
Yeah.
But I closed a company called Suffolk Construction up in Boston. Okay. I was living in Boston at the time. And the construction company said part of their deal was they wanted all of their subcontractors, like their plumbers, electricians, people bringing in their concrete to get 10% off if they wanted to switch too.
Okay.
So the one deal turned into like a potential like 80 additional companies.
Okay.
And I was like, what is this magical industry where like one company tells all these other companies what to do, and they all like call me and I get more sales. So I learned everything I could about the construction industry. My dad's an accountant, my mom's an art teacher. So like I knew I'd never like been on a job site or anything like that. I knew nothing about construction. Now I'm like obsessed with it because like everything we're in is constructed and we literally never think about it.
Yeah.
Like we're on the second floor and we don't think about somebody put this together and it's like, how did it get here? Like the roof's not leaking, we're not falling down.
Yeah.
Everything and we drive around construction all the time.
Yeah.
So I learned about construction and it just became this super interesting industry. It's like, I always liked Lego. Like, it's like you're putting all these components together. So I managed a sales team there. And when I got sick of the big corporate company, I moved to a smaller company that did construction time-lapse cameras.
Okay.
So we put cameras on like roofs and poles and stuff like that. And they would take pictures. And you may have seen like the World Trade Center. There's like the time-lapse that goes up.
Yep.
For the project teams, they can take a look at it and say, what day was the dumpster on site? What day was the concrete poured? And they have like visual information from it.
Okay.
And we added like AI to it. So now we get into like the buzzy part. Okay. So if we wanted to, let's say, take a look at like a restaurant, like how fast people maybe were eating, we could feed in a bunch of images of like plates, like half empty and half full and everything like that. And then over time, we could write an algorithm that teaches you like how long the average person takes to like finish their plate, because you could identify full plates and empty plates.
Wow. Okay.
So what we did is we would like feed in millions of images of dumpsters was how we started. And it was like the picture is just like a picture with a dumpster, and sometimes it's full and sometimes it's empty.
Yeah.
And so it could alert you when the dumpster is full. Okay. And so nobody has to physically do anything. Okay. And then it sends it like, come pick it up. Oh. Because usually what was happening is, let's say they'd pick it up once a week.
Okay.
And the dumpster companies would just pick it up even if it was empty and charge for a pickup.
Oh, okay.
Because it was on the schedule. Right. So they're like, whatever, we'll just do what's on the schedule.
Yeah.
So it made it so that you were saving money.
Yeah.
And it would only, yeah. And no person had to look at it. It would just identify that it needs to be picked up. So, so I ran the sales team and marketing team and like that kind of development team at this smaller company. It was like 45 people when I started, and it's like over 200 now.
Wow.
But then it was...
You sound super smart, by the way. like, I'm like, well...
I'm like, and I also try to explain things in a way that, like,
that people
aren't too lingo-y.
Right.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, if there's a million pictures, like, fed into something.
Yes.
And it keeps identifying it. And I'll tell you, like, a good example of this is, you know, when we do the CAPTCHA.
Yes.
And it says, like, click on the pictures with bicycles. We're basically doing free labor for somebody doing the same thing.
Yes.
So that's like what it is. And so after 12 years there, I don't know, there was like nowhere else for me to go.
Yeah.
And so I left, and I didn't really have like an idea of what, like I didn't have like a dream. Yeah. People were always like, you should run your own company. And I was like, great, but like doing what? Like, am I going to sell mirrors? Am I going to like, you know, be a painter?
Sometimes
like I have no idea.
Adult is like scary, right?
I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So the first thing was that people like were like, hey, will you run my sales team? And I was like, I don't want to commit to, I've been 10 years at one company and 12 at another. And I was like, I don't want to commit full time to like a whole other company right now. So one of those people, this woman-owned company out of Chicago that does like architectural stuff, said, hey, will you help us for a couple months and identify like a new path to sales based on like what we've done. So I was like, yeah. So I basically was like, all right, well, how do I, like, basically the first thing was, how do I get paid?
Right.
So I was like, okay, so I guess I have to like make a company.
Yeah.
And like have a W's whatever. And then I was like, how do I do that? And it was like QuickBooks. And then I was like, well, I should build a website. And I guess I should have a company name just to like kind of put like a stake in it. And and then it just like happened.
Yeah.
And I never, like, it's just me and my brain and like a computer. Like I don't have inventory. I'm very impressed with like people who start businesses where they have inventory.
Yeah.
I don't have employees. You know, I don't want to, I think it's very noble to like build something where you hire other people.
Yeah.
But also I don't feel like enough that I know what I'm doing yet to be able to like have somebody else like where I'm worried about their healthcare and that kind of stuff. But I'm 2 years into it now.
Okay.
And the first year I got like an amazingly huge contract like that like fell out of nowhere.
Okay.
That was like the best. And I had like one or two really, really good clients. And then I had one client where it was their stuff wasn't really working. So because I knew about construction, basically what I do is I work with companies that are selling into construction.
Okay.
So one company that I have right now does materials management, which if you have a construction site and you're building a restaurant, you have the floors come, you have the bar come, you have the lights come, all this stuff is coming from all over the place. And as much as you try to keep an eye on it with FedEx and UPS and all the different places, they don't all work together.
Right.
So this company brings it all together.
Okay.
And it also, they can put like a sticker when it shows up at the job site and they scan it. So like if we were to do this, we're in like this huge studio, like this whole building, right?
Yeah.
If you were to build it out, let's say the mirrors show up and they're in a box like over here and they're building out the whole floor and everybody's like, where did we put the mirrors? Like there's just like 10 million boxes. So it'd be like unpacking your house.
Yeah.
It's like, where are the dishes? Like we're going to be just eating off the floor right now because we can't find them. So this company does that, and this is like a long-winded way of saying it, but I like to, hopefully it makes sense. Everybody could use that company.
Yeah.
A hospital, a data center, a multifamily residential, an elementary school. But if you target everybody, that's a terrible target market because you're not really targeting anybody. So then it was like, okay, well, who has the most expensive materials or who has the most amount of materials?
Okay.
So when you're building a hospital, you have x-ray machines and you have their HVAC has to be so good, like the air filtration. Yeah. So they have more stuff than like a business building.
Of course, yeah.
And so I was like, let's target that.
Right.
Let's talk about what's most important to that type of construction.
Yeah, because they have to be like running efficient all the time.
Yeah. And they usually build a hospital next to an existing hospital. So you've got your existing patients in it and you've got their families visiting. And so you're also worried about a construction site and people showing up in an ambulance in the same spot.
Okay.
That's super different than if you're building like a community center.
Right.
So I help them identify what the best market is and then speak the language that matters to that market.
Okay.
Go to events where those people go. You know, figure out their brand all around that.
Yeah.
When I
very
started,
job. Wow.
Yeah. So when I started, I was like, it was hard because I was like, I can do a lot of things, and that like a lot of things is exactly what I'm trying to help my clients avoid. So I can't say I can do all these things because that's not target.
Right.
But it's gotten super busy. Like I have 8 companies right now.
Wow.
Which is a lot.
That's impressive, yeah.
And and a little bit of his like website copy, a little bit of his event planning, a little bit of his sales training.
Right.
But this industry, construction, I'm super big, and I'm glad we get the chance to talk about this because on any given day, there are about 350,000 job openings in construction in the U.S.
Okay.
That need to be done like to finish the construction we have now. And they're not just like on the site. They're IT, they're marketing, they're HR. Like people don't think I'm going to go in HR at like a local construction company. They just kind of don't think about the industry a lot, I think.
Yeah.
And I also want to get a lot of diversity in the industry because I think diverse people have diverse solutions.
Right.
Like we're women.
Yes.
So when we walk outside at night, what do? Like when it's dark out and you're by yourself, like what do?
Oh, you look around and make sure you're safe.
Yeah. Men never do that.
The day.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you're safe these days.
Yeah. when I go to like a car, like buy a car, I've always been told bring a guy with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, mechanic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we've gained different tools because of the way the world works.
Mm-hmm.
So I think diversity is about people who have different experiences that have different tools. So they have different ideas. Like it doesn't have to be all this DEI crap and like this box check and everything. It's like we have to get more people. So the construction industry hasn't been very diverse and it hasn't been super welcoming to all different communities.
Interesting.
So I'm very big on saying like it's actually a great community. Yeah. And we have a ton of job openings. Okay. And it could be that you want to be a welder, but it could also be you build apps, and construction companies need apps too. And so there's all these different jobs, but for me, there's this pretty small construction technology community, and it's a lot of fun. And there's a lot of women in it. And I started my own company to try to work with a lot of women and minority-owned businesses. Okay, I love like being able to take what I know from all the time I've done and like elevate different types of people. Yeah. So amazing. Yeah. I love that. Like it's like a not a job that I knew when I was 20 like ever existed. Yeah. I probably didn't even know it existed when I was like 30. Yeah. But it's that's like incredible. There are so many, and I think we have to be in gig work right now. Like we're in an Airbnb and Lyft like society. Yeah. And I think that like whether you're like teaching Pilates, whether you're doing a podcast, like we all have to have a couple side hustles. Yeah, definitely. And I think that taking short-term stints and being able to be flexible about that, like I think that's like a key thing. Yeah, definitely. In today's world to be able to do. So I really like what I do, and I like working with lots of companies, and I hate all the software that I have to deal with to do it.
Yes, it's very challenging.
I have like so many Slack channels. It's like messaging.
All the things that you have to do behind the scenes are like really difficult. Like even like things that you just like don't even realize are going to come up. Like even like for this show, like editing little clips to like put on Instagram, like because video is actually like it's antiquated, right? So it's actually like taking pictures, and then making it into a video, right? And then when you go to post that on Instagram, sometimes the audio doesn't match the shot. Even though it does line up here in the recording. Right. So you go to post it and it's like, why does that look like shit? Like, let me delete it. Let me go do this again. And it's like people don't realize that like
it can take a long time.
It can take a long time to do stuff.
It can. It can.
A long time. And then like, you know, whatever software that you're working with, like sometimes there's like a bug and then like you have to contact IT support and they don't get back to you for like days. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
yes. I know.
So props to you for like starting your company. That's like a really cool story.
Yeah. It's been interesting. I'm like so impressed with small businesses. Yeah. I think that every pizza shop that I like drive by, I'm like so impressed with them because I'm like, you picked a sign and you hung it outside. Yeah. You picked prices, like, you know, I bet it's so hard. I think we do not realize how hard it is.
Paying rent, like, putting up a sign. Yeah, it's crazy. Trying to get the people to come in.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, just because you have like a passion for something, you know? Yeah, it's crazy.
I met an 80-year-old woman, and she had retired from nursing like years earlier, and she was bored. And she figured she could do an online thing to help people pass their nursing exam. So she was like, being like that was her business. Yeah. She was like, I make a little bit of money, but I just want to do something. With the internet, like, you know, I'm so old. I'm like, with the internet, you can reach so much further.
Yeah. I met this woman once, I think it was during COVID when things were shut down, but she ran her own business where she was teaching people how to be those people that like... type for doctors and stuff. Like you know how doctors like talking to the microphone and then, like people like type up their notes for them? She was teaching people how to do that and how to like make their own businesses doing that. And she was so adorable. She was like, you can work from anywhere. Like she had her own like this like big manual that she wrote and like her own like business and like so it was so great. Like,
I've hosted this panel for New York Tech Week this past week. And the marketing person who set the whole thing up of the place where it was hosted, I was chatting with her. I was like, oh, so where are you based? And she was like, Costa Rica. Yeah. And I like was immediately like, I hate you. Yeah. Like, like I know. But like nothing is stopping me from also going to Costa Rica. Yeah. You know? Like there's a lot of stuff. But like, I was just like, Wow, people are really doing it.
People are. Yeah. When I worked at Lifetime, my manager told me that like one of the previous like Pilates managers like quit and like moved and like opened a studio in like an island like Costa Rica or Puerto Rico or something like that. And I was like, okay, good for her.
Yeah. You know? No, my immediate thing was like, you suck. And then I was like, well, I'm just jealous.
Yeah.
Like, why am I jealous? Yeah, I just kind of want to keep, it's kind of hard. I'll say the way that things are in the U.S. right now, I do sometimes feel like, what are we fighting for?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
There are other places, like, I get it. Like, I haven't lived everywhere, and there are places where I would 100% not be welcome, and there would possibly be violence. But also, I feel like that's happens here now.
Do you ever get scared going places?
Like as like me like this.
Yeah.
I will say, okay, so I'll say when I went to Alabama, there was like there was one time where I got out of my car to get gas, and two guys were like looking over and like making like a lot of like comments and stuff like that, and I was like, you know what, I think I can make it to the next gas station. And there was another time when a group of young guys pulled up in a pickup truck next to me, and just started like, you know, like started like getting really close to my car, like when we were like started to head down the road again, and so I just like slowed down and backed off. It is not like a fully, you know what though, but more so, it's just as a female.
True.
Like, you know, I think that we don't talk about enough. When I like to travel a lot. Yeah. And I travel a lot by myself. Yeah. Just because. And I have to think, like, is it going to be safe for me to, like, go to this village, you know, outside of this main city? Yeah. And the only reason is because I'm female.
Well, I'll tell you this. So, a couple weeks ago, I got a blow dry with Malcolm, and I left his salon, and I was on like a side street like behind downtown Denville, and I was going to cross the street to get to my car, and it was an awkward moment, like two cars were approaching, and they didn't have to stop for me, but they did. Both of them did. Yeah. And I crossed, and one car kept going, and then the other car, the guy rolled his window down, and he was like, next time cross the crosswalk, bitch. And he kept driving.
Like, why?
and it's just like, whoa, like, bro, like, unnecessary. Yeah. You know, there's something going on right now with, like, guys, and they're, like, very empowered to just, like, talk shit to women, I think. Yeah. And, like, it's weird. It's a little scary.
Yeah, I think about it with, like, I do think, I didn't grow up feeling like an unsafe little girl. No. I wasn't, like, 12 years old thinking that I didn't know that like men and women were treated differently. Yeah. I've asked my dad. I'm like, how did you raise two girls in the 80s who felt like they could do anything? And he's like, what? Like he's like, why are you calling me? Like, who is this? Like, but my sister's very outspoken. She's a school psychologist. I always say she's the good one. She's like does this nice job all the time. I mean, I'm nice enough, but like she's so good. And I didn't grow up feeling, but I mean, there was obviously things that were happening to women then, but I definitely feel like I feel less safe now.
Yeah, I feel like it's a recent thing too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there was just the thing where the president, like, he literally calls like women reporters like trash and garbage. Yeah,
well, I think that's
in like a work environment.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of the issue too. Like, he's doing it, so I think that the guys out there there's certain guys out there that think like, okay, well, I guess this is fine. Yeah. You know, I'll call a woman a bitch if I want to. Yeah. You know, and Malcolm and I talked about it, and it's like that guy probably did it on that side street and not the main street because it wasn't the main street. Yeah. You know, and he felt like, oh, I'm gonna like get away with this now. You know.
There's a crazy thing that's happening, and I think it's sort of like it's like what we see in a lot of things. Like when nobody was really talking about trans people are safer. And now that it's like we're all aware that trans people exist, some people are like, let's make them not exist. Yeah. And there's this thing that's like happening where, you know, I feel like it's the backlash to maybe DEI, whatever, but it is wild to me because I'm not one, like how, like, especially like straight white men, like are feeling like this is like a very difficult time for them. And right? You know, and it's just like, yeah. And I'm just like, you know, that's their feeling. So like, where did that, like, I don't understand it.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, I've done a deep dive, like, you know, through various times, and I was like, did a deep dive into like Native American history in the U.S.
Interesting, yeah.
And we just came here and gave them like smallpox blankets, and we're like, see you later, like, hope you die. And it's just a very, like, it's not like other societies, like, throughout history haven't been super violent, but it kind of blows my mind. The history that I grew up believing was like, people were oppressed and they, like, under religious persecution, so they came to the U.S. for freedom.
Right.
And the real story is, some people just wanted to do whatever they wanted, and they were rich enough to have ships that got them across the ocean when it was not safe and, like, easy and guaranteed.
Right.
And then they came here and then they just murdered everybody who, like, you know, was in their way. And so,
Pretty
like,
much.
that's the true story.
That's the truth.
They weren't, like, persecuted and got freedom, and it never started with women being equal. I think it was just yesterday was the amendment, was when the 19th Amendment, it was the anniversary of, like, women got the right to vote, but it wasn't even, it wasn't even all women, like, when that happened. And
it makes me think of, like, Sacagawea and Pocahontas, and it's like, well, they, like, tell these, like, fairy tales, like, oh, Pocahontas, like, but what's the real story? Like, did she want to go with
did she want to go? Yeah.
And, like, did Sacagawea want to show them the way?
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
Not sure.
Yeah,
you know?
but let's make a cartoon about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very interesting, you know, what they, like, painted the picture to be for us.
It's so important, like, who controls the narrative.
Yeah.
And I never thought about that, you know, and I think about, like, I'm like, I don't even know what the kids are, like, learning right now. Like, I don't know what they're learning about, you know, like, January 6th, like, that's a historical thing. Right. Barack Obama becoming president was a historical thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, whether or not you're, like, Republican or Democrat, it's like, it was just a fact that it happened. Like, are we just...
It did occur.
Yeah. Like, you know, like, it just, it's crazy. One of the things that drives me nuts about Pride is when people are very much, like, and they do this with, like, all cultures, I think, that have had to, like, have an uprising, is they're like, okay, well, now you're recognized, can you just kind of be nice about it? And I'm like, Pride started, like, there is a t-shirt in Target right now that has, like, a rainbow on it during the month of June because some black trans women threw bricks at cops. And you might not like the fact that they resorted to violence.
Right.
But that is a direct correlation, and it happened in June. Yeah. And that's why it's now, is because there was violence. And so when we're talking about the things that are happening, like, with ICE right now, like, over in Newark, it's like a ton of things of being like, these Antifas are, like, blocking these cars. And I'm like, yeah, but there are people inside there who get let out every day who were the wrong people, who had no criminal record. They're being treated horribly. Like, we need to get more information before we decide that, you know, that they're the ones in the wrong.
Yeah. This is why I wanted to have you on the show as well, because you went to Minnesota during the whole, when ICE was like going crazy out there. And again, this show is, people scroll past this stuff, and this is an opportunity to come on and share your perspective on all this stuff. What was it like going out there? Like...
So I've been involved in activism, like, my whole life. I don't really know why. Some of it is, I grew up in the suburbs of Minnesota, but the church that I went to was downtown St. Paul. And so I think a lot of it ended up coming out through that. It's still a church that is, like, has, like, lunch every Wednesday for homeless people, has, like, collects, like, business clothes for women who are getting out of domestic violence to go on, like, a job interview. So it's like a hub, Central Presbyterian in St. Paul, shout out. A hub of, like, activism. And so I remember being, like, involved in different things there.
So from, like, a young age you were introduced to that and taught that, like,
my parents were always like, let's go visit people at the nursing home and let's do this. It's like, you know, my dad still works at, like, a food shelf, and my mom still, like, wraps presents for homeless shelters at Christmas. Like, it's just sort of embedded in the family.
Right.
And
that's important to, like, learn from a young age. Like, a community needs to function, like, as a whole. You know,
my social life was like partly activism. Like, I didn't know it was, like, my social life and activism, but like, that's the activities that we did, and it was you know, great. And so when things started to, like, totally erode in Minneapolis, it was like I just couldn't not be there
right.
anymore.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of stuff. There was a lot of like violence between like MAGA people around the 2020 election, like in DC and in New York and other places. During Black Lives Matter with like police, you know, like there were things that got out of control. But I decided to drive to Minnesota because I wanted to have my car and kind of be autonomous. And I just sort of, I don't know, something felt right about it. It was a pretty boring drive, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, I love you, but you're really long.
Pennsylvania's huge. Oh my God.
Long. So long.
It's true.
But driving into the Twin Cities, it was like ominous.
Yeah.
Like I was nervous. And I've been in a lot of situations I've never felt nervous.
Yeah.
So every door was locked. Like to your pizza place, to like Home Depot. Like you could not walk in most places. And so that was like the first thing. Yeah. Also, there were like not many people out. And you would start to see people in like vests, and everybody was a little bit like, you know, it could happen at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. So what was very different about all of the other activism things I've done is usually been like, you know, at a Planned Parenthood, helping people go in and get health care, and it's at a location. Yeah. Or it's like at a march, and so you know the time and the location. Yeah. This was something where they could like jump out of, like at the gas station and grab somebody. Yeah. So it was like 24/7, and everybody was just like, this for like months. And across the street from my parents, it was this Filipino family. Filipino, like born in America, but Filipino because it's America. We have people from all over. Yeah. And they had a newborn, and they were nervous to go out and get grabbed. And so the block basically got together and would get them laundry detergent and their groceries.
They weren't going out at all.
For 2 months, they did not go out.
Wow.
There was a Mexican family behind my parents, same thing. They had a couple young kids, and they were afraid to go out. There were people that I met who, if you didn't have light colored skin, like I met some people who were, you know, I met somebody who was like South Korean, somebody who was Japanese, again, in like, you know, generations ago, but living in America. They would get a ride with somebody who was white to work and ride on the floor of the car. Wow. I met two different people who were like pulled over by ICE. ICE smashed their window until they like showed them that they were American citizens. And you would see cars just like abandoned on the side of the road where ICE would like run them off the road and like snatch them. So then there were tow truck drivers who were volunteering on their own time, going out and finding these cars and trying to get them back to the families. It was insane. Crazy. Yeah. So what you saw was like the murder of like, you know, Alex Preddy and Renee Good. And also, you know, people forget that, you know, a lot of the part of that was they were two white people. Yeah. So they got a different kind of press. Coverage. Yeah. Yeah. And so it was just crazy. Yeah. But what happened is like these, talk about a grassroots, I've never seen a grassroots effort like happen like that. So like at a crossroads, like in a suburb, they would pile up like orange cones and garbage cans and stuff like that, so that if somebody got, so a car couldn't race through there. So they were making physical barriers
so that ICE couldn't like,
so that ICE couldn't get away super fast. They just, I mean, they were all very, like, secretive. Like, they were, like, it was, like, block by block chats. Like, you weren't in, like, a Minneapolis, like, you know, raid is happening. But the bravery of the people, especially after you saw them get shot and not leave. Right. Like, if I'd seen somebody get shot right in front of me, like, I've never seen that happen, so I don't know what I would do. But in none of those videos did people run away. They all just went right in, and they were like, we're documenting this, and we're letting you know that this is not, like, disappearing. Right. So I was there a couple weeks, and, you know, after the first day or two, kind of the overall nervousness, but then you'd pull up at the grocery store, and you'd see somebody sitting in a car with, like, the full mask on, and it was just, it was, like, crazy. That was insane. Yeah. You saw them everywhere. So I have a black, small SUV. And so as soon as I pulled in, my family was like, okay, we got to go get some stickers or something for that. I've never put stickers on a car before, but they're like, you need to, you've got out-of-state plates and your car is black and you need to get, so now I have like a rainbow flag on the back and like a little turtle because like, like I got like the initials for Minnesota. I was like, I'm safe, you know, because Because there were people, one time I'd stopped somewhere and I came out and somebody was like circling my car, like looking at it because they were documenting like, you know, different people. But, yeah, it was, I think that the
terrible
stress,
time for this country.
yeah, if you want to know like how to create a criminal, like go kidnap somebody's dad when they're like 5 or 10 years old, keep them for a couple days. And like, I mean, I feel like they were at such heightened stress for so long, like the whole like area, that I don't think we're gonna even see we're gonna see repercussions for like years to come of the trauma of that. It's just it was just like all of those stories were terrible. There was an ICE agent who she put the hood of her car up, pretended like she was having trouble in kind of more of like an immigrant neighborhood, and as soon as somebody came out to help her for car trouble, they like nabbed that person. Oh my God. They weren't even trying to nab a specific person. They were just like, there's a good chance we're going to get somebody who wasn't born here.
Wow.
And they like completely preyed on kindness.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's terrible. Like you were saying, it's like, what are we fighting for in this country when like there's so much like so many things going on. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was just sitting with my best friend last night and we were like, so when are we going to move to Norway? Like, you know? Like, I don't know.
I'm like, what can grow on rotten soil is sort of what it feels like.
Yeah. It's hard to know like where to begin with everything. Yeah. You know? Yeah. It's tough.
And yet we're still here and we can like have a podcast. And I had like a great espresso tonic this morning, which is like my jam. So it's like this weird thing of being like, should I be doing something all the time?
Right, yeah. We're still like getting up and like living our lives. Like I taught 2 banging Pilates classes this morning. Yeah. And like here we are doing this. Yeah. It's like, okay, well.
Yeah. It's a weird time to be like, you know, somebody was like a jerk to you and you have to be like, I can't try to internalize it, but I'm, you know, very much aware that there seems to be more hatred out in the world right now than there used to be. Yeah. But also, let's spend time together and try to like rejuvenate, but also, you know, like, and you have the kids to deal with. And I think of people with kids and I think of how important it is to like nourish and nurture them because the amount of information, like we don't necessarily even know what they're hearing and absorbing. Yeah. Not from you, but like from everybody they're around. Yeah. To be like, where are they holding like stress in their body about this freaking world that we put them in right now?
Yeah. You know what? We were driving yesterday and my older daughter Penny goes, is President Trump married? And her dad goes, yeah, he's married, but he's a cheater and like blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, and I just whispered, I was like, is this appropriate talk? Like, you know, like, settle down.
Yeah.
Like, she's 9.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
He's married, but he's not
like,
good at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, calm down.
Oh my God.
You know, but it's like, you know, but it's like, why did she ask that? You know, like, what's going on in like the kids' minds? Like, what are they seeing? What are they absorbing? It's very interesting.
I didn't know, like, when my when he got elected the first time, my nephew was like 9, and my sister said he came downstairs the next morning, and he said, "Did we really just elect a predator?" And she was like, "Wow, like that's a term that he like very specifically like picked up on." So it's a lot about that, like, you know, that I think about, because I do think, sometimes I think like somebody, I have this lily pad theory, and there's this thing that happens in New York where you like run for the subway, which I don't know why, because they come like every 5 minutes, but you still are like, try to like slam yourself into it when the door's closing. And there's so many, and if somebody like sticks out, I know, it's like, why am I almost murdering myself by getting onto the subway? But if somebody sticks out their foot or their elbow and like keeps the door open for you, it's the best. You're like, I just won at life, like I made it. And I was explaining to somebody one time that you don't say thank you, really. You just kind of like get on and you just kind of keep moving, and like you go find a seat or you whatever, or you just sort of like do the head nod and that's it. And they were like, probably in Minnesota, and they were like appalled. They're like, what, you don't like say thank you and like all this stuff? And I was like, no, because we're not trying to cultivate like a moment. We're both got on the train, like good for us, next. Right. And I think that
it's New York.
I think that I have this like theory about strangers like sharing with each other. Like we count on the important people in our lives for like the sad moments, the mad moments, the happy moments, like all of these things. But I think people inherently like to like to help each other. And there's a joke, like everybody's cried on the subway. And like I've fully cried, like tears like are falling on the ground. Like, it's just like, and I'm like, yep, I'm that person crying on the subway. And if somebody's just like, you good? Like, it's just, that's all you need sometimes. Yeah. And there is this like connection. And I feel like maybe we get it in the city because we're with each other all the time. That I feel like might be difficult in like places where like you're here, like where you're house to house, and you go back to your house and you like deal with it. And like, does it feel like kind of isolating? And that's like what is happening. People are in their car, so they are like, fuck you. Yeah. Versus on the subway, if you said like fuck you, then you'd have to ride like 10 stops with that person. And you're like, you're like, okay, now this is awkward.
Totally. Yeah. I had an interesting experience recently where I went back to St. Augustine, Florida, where I used to live there. I only lived there for like a year because what I intended to do there didn't work out. And after I moved back to New Jersey, my life totally changed. And it was the last place I lived like by myself. And I went back there like last October, and on the plane ride home I just fucking cried.
Yeah, you're like, I'm in this enclosed space with all these people, here I am crying.
And the woman next to me was like, oh, why were you here? And I was just like, well, I used to live here, and like it was like, the last place I lived like as a like single girl, like in my 20s, and like, it just makes you think about life and like, it's like what I said before, like sometimes being an adult is like scary. It's like, oh God, what are we doing?
You're like,
here?
Who's in charge?
Who's in charge? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. The who's in charge question has come to me at times when I'm like, oh crap, it's me again.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah. I feel like we never used to talk about that. I don't know how people, I was saying to someone the other day, this is like so like old timey, but World War II, like all these people had these atrocious things, and then they came back and they still all got married, and they were like, my grandparents, and they had kids and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my God, they like went to war and like didn't even talk about it. Yeah. Like, how am I not dating somebody? Like, they figured it out.
Right.
I'm like, what's my problem? Like, they went through total trauma, completely stuffed it, and still managed to, like, have, like, a full life. Yeah. And, I'm like, I can't even, like, find anybody I want to spend more than, like, 3 hours with. Like, this is ridiculous. But, I don't know. Times must be, like, things have just, like, evolved and are different. But I think... Yeah, I'm finding that people need connections and need community. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, like, when you put out the podcast, like where, like, the comments people have.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see the reactions to this episode.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think it'll be good, you know? Yeah, I'm not scared.
Yeah. Come for us.
Yeah, come for us. Yeah. I think that
she's been working out. I haven't, but it's on my list of things to do.
Yeah. I think it's important to like, come on and just like, these things are happening. It's like, like the world is real. Like, come on. It's like, it's fine to come on and like have opinions and like just say things that are true and real. You know, we're blessed to be able to do so. You know? Like, come on. Yeah. So
we still are.
Yeah.
There's so many things that are like confusing to me. Like, I don't understand. I've never been like a person, I don't know the whole history of like, the world and different types of occupations, but it's just very black and white to me. Like, we shouldn't be killing kids in Gaza. Right. It just does not, like, I don't understand how that can be like a question mark.
Yeah. I think about that a lot actually, like when we like go to war again or like do stuff like that. It's like, we're still doing this? Like, we're still killing people?
Yeah.
We're still killing each other?
Yeah. Bombing random boats off Venezuela that we're being told they're like bad people, but like, we don't know.
Like, we're still using violence?
Yeah.
It's 2026.
Yeah.
Like, we can't
I know,
talk
it's
this
so
out.
annoying that like men are in charge and this is like their idea.
Yeah, it's like, we can't talk this out.
Yeah.
It seems a little grimy.
Yeah. It just seems like caveman. Like, we haven't evolved like at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I feel like it's weird.
Controversial take. Maybe we should let AI take over and it'll come up with something else.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yep,
I welcome our robot overlords to.
Yeah.
They'll probably shoot me too.
Yeah. Oh my God. That makes me think of this quote. Someone on Instagram did it, and the person said, I forget what it asked it, but it was like, what would you do to make us like truly evil or something? And it was like, I put a device in your hand so you could never like fold them into prayer or something like that.
Wow.
And it was like, whoa, that's deep ChatGPT.
Yeah.
That's very scary.
Yeah. I saw something where they had the different ones like Claude and Gemini and Chat and all that stuff. Yeah. They gave them like 10 people and they were like, create your own society. Ooh. And it was like, one of them, like they all died within like 3 days or something. And there was another one where they all like got along and were flourishing. Yeah. But then they found out that particular AI knew when it was being tested. So it just like pretended like it was making it work because it knew that it would win the outcome, which was like maybe
super
worse.
Deep.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't even know. I think about things like with like my parents, and they're like, you know, trying to schedule their appointments online. Yeah. And, you know, there was not an online for the majority of their lives. And I'm just like, oh God, like what is going to even exist when I'm that age?
Oh, yeah. It's interesting to think like how things are going to evolve like as we get older.
Yeah. I'm like, I need a piece of land in the woods just in case.
Yeah.
Backup plan.
I know.
I'm very good in a tent. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would love to have you part of my community.
Yes. I'm a survivor. Like I will. Okay. Apocalypse. I'm it. Like you definitely sign me up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great in an emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. You need to know too. Like I've been with like lots of kids. I'm an emergency contact in Denver. Okay. Providence, Rhode Island, Philadelphia, Minneapolis, obviously. Yeah. So
that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Kids need community. They need an adult who's gonna like show up. I'm pretty pumped right now. Some of my friends, two, one that's in Maryland and one that's in Minnesota. One has a daughter who's 12 and one is 13. Yeah. And they text me now, which is so cool.
Love it.
And like one of them texted like, I kind of had a bad day, and I felt bad, but I also was like. So I was like, she picked me.
Oh, she's looking up to me.
Yeah, I was like, she picked me. Yeah, and then another one was like, I think I'm going to ask so-and-so to be my Valentine, but I didn't tell mom and dad yet. And I was like, ooh, I got like insider information. Yes. So yeah. The kids need a village.
Yes, they do. They definitely do. We all do.
Yeah. So I'm here for it. So hopefully somebody I don't know, has any sort of feeling for this. I really appreciate you asking me to be on.
Yes, this was amazing.
Yeah, it was like kind of a surprise. I was like,
was it?
Well, yeah, because I don't know, because we haven't like really hung out. You know, we just like exchanged messages, and it's like "go you" is like you know the gist of the messages basically. Yeah, so it's just, it's super cool. Yeah. So you're like giving a gift of like, you know, asking.
Just going back to how we started the conversation, like I did feel like when we met that day, it was very meant to be. And I just feel like we'll just continue that friendship and that relationship. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Welcome to our world.
Making it real.
Yes.
So, thank
All
you.
Right.
Lisa
Thank
Kelly,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Yes.